Hi, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Sue, and today we're going to learn how to make Greek potato salad. And it's really different. It's different from the usual American potato salad. For one thing, there's no mayonnaise, no pickles, but it's oh so good. It's delicious. It's got just a few ingredients, but it's got a wonderful, crisp, clean, fresh flavor that just can't be duplicated. And I know that once you try it, you'll love it. It's become a family favorite for us. And we like it a whole lot more than the regular American mayonnaise potato salad. So let's get started. Believe it or not, Greek potato salad only has 5 ingredients. Of course, the first ingredient has to be the potatoes. You need a waxy potato, either a white potato, red potatoes, Yukon Gold, but something that's going to hold up. Russets, baking type potatoes are too grainy and too crumbly for any kind of potato salad. So choose your potato. Then for color and flavor, you need a red onion, lemons for lemon juice, lots of fresh parsley, and last of all, extra virgin olive oil, a little salt and pepper. Put it all together and you have a real taste treat. Your first step is to wash the potatoes. Sometimes potatoes have little clumps of dirt on them, so you do need to wash them well before you cook them. You'll need about 2 to 2.5 pounds of waxy potatoes. Now you'll notice I am putting the potatoes whole into the pot. I don't want to peel them and dice them before I cook them because they'll get all waterlogged, and I don't want waterlogged potatoes. So they're going whole into the pot. I'm going to cover them with water, add a little salt. I'm going to bring the potatoes to boil, then turn them down to simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes until they are just tender. I don't want them overcooked. They need to keep their shape for the potato salad. While the potatoes are cooking, I'm waiting for them to come to a boil and then cook, I'm going to start on chopping the red onion. You could use green onions. If you did, you'd need a whole bunch, sliced thin. I like to use the red onion because in contrast to the white of the potato and the green of the parsley, it's just beautiful. It's such a beautiful salad to look at. Now, this is a salad. It's not going to be cooked. The onion won't be cooked. So you need to cut this up in a fine dice. You want the flavor of the onion, but you don't necessarily want huge chunks. Okay, this is a strong onion and it's getting to me. So take a deep breath and keep going. So I'm trying to make it as fine, as small of a dice as my limited skills allow me to. And I don't know if you can see it right here would be a good example. You can see how fine, how small the little square, and that's what you're looking for. For 2 to 2.5 pounds of potatoes, one medium-sized red onion will do just fine. If you are only able to get the huge, humongous red onions, then you could just use half a red onion. If your family objects to a lot of onion flavoring, maybe you would want to just use half a red onion anyhow. But I don't think there's any such thing as too much red onion, too much garlic anywhere in anything. So just take your chopped onion and place it into your bowl. As you can see, the potatoes have come to a boil. Now I'm going to turn the heat down and simmer them for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to set my timer at 15 minutes, and then I'll be checking them to see how tender they are. As I said before, the potatoes need to be cooked through, but I don't want them to be mushy. They need to be able to hold their shape in the potato salad. That's one of the reasons for keeping the skin on, and that's one of the reasons for turning it down to a simmer. You don't want a vigorous boil that's going to just jerk the potatoes around inside the pot. All right, so we're going to let them simmer for 15 minutes and go to something else. And that something else is the parsley. It is a major ingredient in Greek potato salad and helps give it that very fresh, garden fresh, clean, crisp flavor. Parsley needs to be washed carefully, and once it's washed, which I have done, you need to dry it because you don't want to add a bunch of water to the potato salad. And I did that. I washed it, wrapped it up in a towel for about a half hour, and got rid of all the excess water. And so now it's ready for cutting or chopping. You'll need at least a cup of packed, chopped, fresh parsley, and nothing else will substitute. Dried parsley, forget about it. Okay, so just figure out, kind of eyeball, what you think might be a cup's worth of parsley, and get rid of discolored sections so that it's all nice and clean. And of course, the first thing you need to do is get rid of the stems. So I usually just go up to the first leaves and cut off the stems. You can see all I'm removing is just the major stem. This is actually probably the most time-consuming part of the whole potato salad. Now I've judged this. I'm hoping this will be a cup. If it's not, I'll go back into the pile and chop some more up. So there's my discarded stems, and here are my parsley leaves ready for chopping. I need to have at least a cup, and it wouldn't hurt if you went to a cup and a quarter, cup and a half. Fresh parsley is delicious and adds a wonderful tang and fresh earthy taste to the potato salad. So it's just a matter of chopping it finely. And the way to chop parsley is just get started and then just keep turning it around and keep going in different directions until it gets all chopped up. Some people like to put it in a container and then snip it with kitchen shears. That works fine too. Whatever you like. Doesn't matter as long as it gets fairly chopped up. The timer just went off, so it's time for me to check the potatoes to see if they're done. I have two very fancy testing utensils. One is a little skewer from a turkey trussing kit, and then one is a little skewer from a barbecue kit. And all I do is I just poke one of these in to see how tender the potatoes are. So I don't want to make a big hole. This is a little thinner, so this is the turkey trussing skewer. Okay, the potatoes are not done. So I'm going to put them on for another 5 minutes and test them again. I finished chopping the parsley. It's pretty nice. Pretty small pieces. Now I just want to measure. Doesn't matter if I have too much parsley. That'll just make the potato salad taste better. But I certainly don't want to have too little. So I want to make sure that I have at least a cup, and it's a packed cup. And you can see, I've got it. So I'm just going to add the parsley to my bowl that's holding the onions. I'm testing the potatoes one more time. I'm sticking this in, and it needs to go all the way through very easily. We're so close that I'm testing all the potatoes. Some of them, there's just a little bit of a push there. That means it's still a little bit crunchy, underdone in the center. So I'm going to leave them in 5 more minutes. Just set the timer for 5 more minutes. It's better to take the time on this end and have your potatoes perfectly done than to be in a hurry, get them chopped up and discover that they're crunchy and underdone, or to have them overdone and falling apart and mushing up. All right, I'm checking these potatoes. Hopefully it's for the last time, and my skewer goes perfectly down with no problems, nothing stopping it, with complete ease. All these potatoes are done, and they're ready to be removed from the boiling water. I'm taking a slotted spoon, and I'm removing the potatoes one by one. The reason I'm not pouring them into the colander is I don't want them to bash up against each other and get smashed. And if you notice, these potatoes are cooked, but the skin is intact, so that means that the potato flesh inside is solid, and it's not going to be mushy. It's not going to make a mushy potato salad, and that's good. Well, eventually these skins have to go. So I'm going to let the potatoes cool in the colander for about 15 minutes till they're cool to the touch, and then I'm going to slip the skins off. They'll come off quite easily. While the potatoes are cooling enough so I can touch them and handle them, let's work on the dressing. The dressing for this potato salad couldn't be simpler, and yet it's so delicious. Half a cup of olive oil, an extra virgin olive oil, and the juice of 1 lemon. That's it. Let me show you a tip, a little trick when working with lemons. You want to get the most juice out of this. In fact, if it were just me, I'd probably use 2 lemons because I'm very fond of the olive oil lemon combination. To get the most juice, here's one trick. Go to your microwave and microwave this baby for 30 seconds. What the microwaving does is warms the lemon up so the juices get released inside. So there goes my little lemon, and 30 seconds. Another thing to do after you've microwaved the lemon and it's warm is to roll it. Roll it on your cutting board. And that again releases more of the juices so that when you cut the lemon and put it in the juicer, try to squeeze the juice out, more is going to come out. You won't have as much wasted lemon juice. So you need the juice of 1 lemon added to your olive oil. And because I don't want to lose any of the lemon, I'm not going to just hand squeeze it like so. I'm going to use a real citrus fruit squeezer to get as much out as I possibly can. This is a classic combination of Greek flavors, olive oil and lemon. Greeks used this combination for a lot of vegetables and a lot of main dishes too. And I do recommend using fresh lemons rather than the kind of lemon juice that you can find in the bottles. It just doesn't taste as nice. It doesn't taste as good. And this is all about freshness. You have fresh onions, fresh parsley, fresh lemon juice. It'll be delicious. All right, I've squeezed as much as I can out, and in this goes into the olive oil. That's it. Add a teaspoon of salt, and that is the dressing for the salad. Now, as I said, I'm really fond of lemon juice, so I'm going to go ahead and squeeze one more half of a lemon. I'd like to say a word about traditional classic Greek flavor combinations. There are really three great flavor combinations that Greeks use for almost all of their cooking. The first is the classic olive oil and lemon juice. This is used as a dressing for salads. Greek people love green leafy vegetables, and they don't cook them with butter. They serve them with a dressing of olive oil and lemon juice. Things like spinach, Swiss chard, beets with their beet greens, any kind of mustard greens, anything from the cabbage family, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, and in addition, the famous Greek dish, which is baked chicken with roast potatoes, that's also flavored with lemon juice and olive oil and a little bit of the Greek oregano. Now, another flavor combination that's widely used is a combination of oregano, dill, and mint. And this combination is used to flavor ground meat dishes, especially the famous stuffed grape leaves, yaprakia, or sometimes called dolmas. And this flavor combination is used in keftedes, which are a Greek version of meatballs or hamburger patties. And finally, cinnamon, nutmeg, and any kind of tomato product. This combination is what makes moussaka taste so good. It makes pastiso taste so good, and it's used with braised chicken. It's used with beef stew. It's used with braised lamb. Usually, if you're going to have the braised chicken, lamb, or beef, you'll serve it with noodles, or maybe minestra, or orzo, which is the little rice-shaped pasta. But this is a traditional and classic combination, the tomato with cinnamon and nutmeg. And of course, all three of these combinations, whether it's the olive oil and lemon juice, or the oregano, dill, and mint, or the cinnamon, nutmeg, and tomato, all three of these combinations absolutely have to have onion and garlic. So here on this table, you see the main classical, traditional Greek flavor combinations that make Greek food unique from any other cuisine. Couldn't be simpler. The potatoes are now cool to the touch. They're still hot, they're still warm, but I can handle them without burning myself. And now I'm going to peel them, and you can see how easy it is. Just make a little kind of cut, and then all of a sudden this peel literally peels off. It's really simple. You have to be kind of light-fingered because the potatoes are still hot. But the thing that's nice about this is that they are not going to be waterlogged potatoes, and they haven't had a chance to overcook, so they're definitely not mushy potatoes, but they're just completely cooked and completely tender. And that's what you're looking for. If you were using red potatoes, you might want to leave the skins on just because the red skins are so pretty. But when using white or the Yukon Gold, I would remove the skins. And as far as health and nutrition goes, because you cook the potatoes in their skin, you haven't lost any of the nutritional value. It's all there. It's all being kind of cooked into the potato. All right, so this is what you do. Just make a little insertion and start peeling away the potato skin. And do that for all your potatoes. You can see how easily the peel comes off, and look at that. There's no wasted potato. Hardly any of it comes off with the peel. That's another nice thing. You want the potatoes still warm. You don't want them cooled completely. The reason you want them warm is so that they will absorb the flavors of the dressing. They'll absorb it a lot more, a lot better, if they're still slightly warm. And you cut away any funny imperfections you find in the potato as you're peeling. Okay, there we've got it. My nice pile of perfectly cooked potatoes. Now it's time to cut them up for the salad. You can slice them or you can dice them. If you're going to dice them, then use a fairly large dice. It shouldn't be too small. And these are still hot. They're still quite warm. I'm going to slice them and then just cut them in half. But they hold their shape, and that's what's really important. They will hold their shape. Okay, I have a pile of cooked, sliced potatoes. And the only thing left now to do is put them in the bowl with the onions and the parsley. You might want to mix the parsley and onion a bit together to get that evenly distributed. And then add your potatoes. Stir it up so that the parsley, onions, and potatoes are mixed together. And this is the reason why you didn't want to overcook the potatoes. You wanted to keep them in their skins while they were cooking. With all this stirring, they could just turn into one big pile of mashed potatoes. So they need to be able to hold their shape. And that's why you use waxy potatoes. That's why you were so careful about not overcooking them. And that's why you cook them with the skins on. You can see they are keeping their shape. Doesn't that look pretty? With the white of the potato and the green of the parsley and little kind of purple specks of the red onion, it looks just beautiful. And it is so fresh tasting, so delicious. All right, what's left is the salad dressing, lemon and olive oil. And in a sense, this is a dressing and a marinade because the potatoes are going to marinate in this for at least 2 hours to overnight. So just pour it in and stir. If you wanted to, you could add up to a teaspoon of oregano, Greek oregano. But I like it just like this. It's so simple, it's so plain. The flavors are very sharp, they're very crisp, they're very clean. Just mix this all up together. Now at this point, you could taste it to see if you feel it needs a little more salt. So I'll take one little chunk of potato and taste it. Well, it tastes pretty good to me, but maybe a little more salt. Give it another stir, and then you'll place it in the refrigerator. Cover it, of course, because the onion flavor will go all over your refrigerator. Cover it, put it in your refrigerator for at least 2 hours. After 2 hours, it should be cool enough and the flavor is blended enough for you to serve. However, you can keep it overnight, up to overnight. All that happens is it just gets better tasting. So put a plastic cover on it, or if you're using a Tupperware type bowl, put the top on it. Put it in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours, up to overnight, and you'll be ready to serve. The salad has been refrigerating, and I'm ready to take it out and serve it up. One thing that you should probably do if you're planning on serving the salad within 1, 2, or 3 hours, I would go back to the refrigerator and give it a stir every hour just to redistribute the dressing so that every bit of potato is marinated in that delicious olive oil and lemon dressing. All right, we're ready to serve. And this can be served with sandwiches, grilled fish, grilled chicken, grilled meats, hamburgers, hot dogs, a salad plate, anything. It's absolutely delicious. It's very simple to make, and it's so different. It'd make a good buffet item and a good item for a potluck. And just look at that. It is so pretty, and it's so different from regular potato salad. As I've said before, the white of the potato, the pretty purple red of the red onion, and the bright green of the parsley. It's tasty. It's clean. I can't say enough about it because I love it. And whenever I make it, my family goes crazy. It's gone within about an hour. We never have any leftovers. So try it. You'll be surprised at how really delicious it is. Enjoy.